Welcome all my tacticians, and welcome to everyone who is just trying to figure out how do you even play this game, how do you survive the first map, how do you even just get through this. Well, I'm going to show you step by step how you can actually survive this, because I did actually load up a map which was pretty good, so I'm going to show you how to do that. And first of all, I'm going to show you that I did actually complete this map, the first map, on 130%, despite the fact that I have yet to complete a Sawsbuck colony. But I will show you how to do that right now, step by step, starting from day 0, or day 1, however you want to pronounce it, or whichever day you wanted to talk about, finally leading up to the final wave. So let's get started. Alright, so here we are on day 0 of the colony, starting us off. This map actually was just started by me like a couple nights ago, but I never actually got around to completing it because the layout that I got really good from the RNG was really exceptional and really beneficial, can really help me out, especially you, to show you how to get started on this map. So, from the moment the colony loads up, from your first game loads up, the first thing you want to do is take your rangers and have them go on scouting directions. Have them go into 4 different scouting directions and just basically get the lay of the land and just extend your vision as far as the infected will let you. So what you're seeing here is basically precisely that. This is exactly as far as I can go with my rangers without having to actually engage the infected and deal with them. As you can see here, one of my rangers is actually trying to run back here, trying to get back to base, and that's pretty much what you want to do starting from day 0. Just scout, and get the lay of the lands, get how far you are. Second, you want to establish your colony. You want to, take a moment and look at where you are, look at what you've got, what resources you have, what resources you need, and basically establish yourself and basically starting to set up your colony's tents, for example. As you can see here, I've already got my tents going, but I'm also establishing where the main colony is going to be, like where my first cottages are going to be, where I'm going to be establishing my living center. And I'm looking at areas where you want to plant your wood center, your other centers, but we'll get into that later on. So we're going to excuse me, I'm sorry about that, but we'll be going on to later on in the day, so I'm going to do a time skip here to day 3, and when I hit day 3 I'll pause again and I'll show you what we're doing on day 3. Okay, so we've done a little bit of a time skip here, and right now we have to decide our first bear. This is actually a very important decision you want to make based on what you see. So right now I've got 2 things. I can either get a bonus mill, which will allow me to get more energy going for free, or I can get these 100 cottage food bonuses. What you want to pick is the one that benefits your colony the most, especially the early on. Later on you can be a little bit more picky, but when it comes to your early colony production, whoever gives you the best opportunity for your colony as a whole, rather than just like one small thing, that is what you want to go for. So for this one, we got lucky. We got Hunter's Cottage food supply plus 3. So all of our 100 cottages will get an increase in their food production by plus 3. Right now we're not running any Hunter's Cottages, but we will be later on. So I'm going to select this mare here, and that's going to help us out later on. So once again, we'll do a time skip. Alright, so here we are on day 3 of the colony. So as you can see here, I've expanded just a little bit, just trying to expand and get my colony's first layers going, and just making sure that everything is where I want to be. You can see here now that I'm going to try to expand here and get control of this resource of stone here, because stone is going to be very important for us later on. We could get the stone right here, but we'd only get like 2 stone per like, I don't know, 30 seconds or so, and we want to get as much stone as possible. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is grabbing this stone right over here, and that is the first thing you want to grab as soon as possible. The other resource you also want to get is wood, and traditionally you will spawn pretty close to a section of wood so you can, get your wood really quick going. I got really lucky here with a nice huge batch of wood right here, and it was wide enough so that I can plant 200 cottages within close proximity to each other alongside the sawmill. So this is actually going to help us out really good, and if you're following my little guide here, this is pretty much how you want to get started out. If you have excess resources and you have the energy and food, in this case I did, you can start planting down your tents and cottages. And what this is going to be doing is showing you how to, or basically setting up your colony's main source of income. So you'll see what I'm doing later on down the line as we go into another time skip. We'll go into another time skip right now, and I'll see you on day 5 to show you what we're doing and show you how to get going. Alright, so here we are once again. We're now on day 5 of the colony. As you can see, our colony has expanded just a little bit. We now have access to our stone. We're getting actually a little bit more food. This is what you want to do throughout your colony. You don't want to expand too rapidly as you're during your first week, but you do want to start expanding as quickly as possible. Now, the first thing we were talking about last time was the stone we needed to get the soldier center. So that is what we are doing right now. As you can see, we're just 4 stone away, and the stone is going to be coming up pretty soon. It's going to take a little under maybe 20 seconds more, and we'll be able to actually make our soldiers center. And that is what we're going to produce right around here, give or take somewhere. And we're going to be using that to pump out rangers. As you can also see, I completely forgot to talk about this last time, but on day 3, day 2 or so, you want to take all your rangers and your units, bring them back home, and just start patrolling. Just patrol the absolute limit that the infected will let you, that the stray infected will allow you to go. So as you can see here, I've got my rangers just patrolling these little areas right around here between the various choke points, and I've got my soldier as well protecting this little area here. The reason why is you don't want to stir up the horde. You don't want to stir the infected into attacking, because there is this little saying that I like to use, especially for this game that I've started using. It's the trickle going into the flood, and there we go, saving my game state without me playing very much. But that is what's going to happen. The trickle becomes the flood. So if we were to allow just one of these infected to infect just one of these tents, we will be quickly overwhelmed, as one tent will, has 4 colonists, so it's going to produce 4 infected, so 4 infected quickly become 8, then 16, 24, 32, and just etc., spiraling out of control. And our rangers can take up a 1v1 fight against these normal infected, but against colonist infected or fresh infected, they're going to struggle, especially without their veterancy. So that is why you want to be very careful. So once again, now this has been day 5. You can see how far we've extended. This is a very good base you want to get to when you're by day 5. If you're by this point by day 5, you're in a very good position, and you're very well set off. So I'm going to once again go for a time skip, and I will see you again on day 7. Alright, so here we are on day 7 of the colony. Now, as you can see here, I've built up my soldier center, as I said we do last on day 5, and now that it's built up, now that we're able to produce soldiers, we are able to produce our rangers. The first thing we're going to be doing is spamming the ranger button. The rangers are going to be your salvation early on in the game. You're going to need as many of them as you can. Now, moving on further down the line, depending on which direction you want to go, I went for the woodwork shop as fast as I could, simply because I'm going to need the research as quickly as I can, because I'm going to need, basically to go into my market, going into get the bank up, or I'll need to research the stonework shop so that I can get the bank going. And basically, you're gonna want to get the wood workshop for quality of life changes. Now, where you plant your wood workshop is of critical importance, because unlike with the other buildings, which if you want to, you can tear down and rearrange as you wish. The wood workshop, the stone workshop, and the foundry, they cannot be rebuilt. So once you plant it down, it's permanent. So as you can see here, I had this little area that I reserved specifically for buildings like the wood workshop. Buildings that I'm not going to be using, all that much, but are still of critical importance that I need to use. So I planted my wood workshop right here where it's still part of the colony, it's still safe, but it's just out of the way so that I don't have to worry about it. As I expand, I'm gonna plant the stone workshop and the foundry up here, and I'm just gonna use the rest of this space for farms and housing centers and whatever else I can, depending on how much more of the map I'm able to see. So, as I've said before, we are currently building up a bunch of rangers. Right now, I've got a squad of 3 right now, just trying to push the infected back, because I want to turn this little area here between these two lakes, or these two little lakes that I have, to forming a natural barrier. And I just want to expand a wall right here, right down the middle, and I can plant like maybe one of my soldiers and my excess ranger right here, just to protect that section and give me some breathing space. The next thing I want to do is, as I push my rangers further out, once that is done, clear up the space down here in the south and start clearing out the space in the north. This is what your rangers are going to be used for. And if you have a group of 8 to 10 rangers, you can clear up the normal infected pretty quickly. And that is what you want to do. So once again, by day 7, you want to have something akin to this kind of a setup. You want to have at least, like, say, maybe 12 tents, 18 tents if you're trying really, really hard to expand further. You want to get 18 tents. That'll give you a nice stable set of income. You want to have your rangers starting to pump out by day 5, day 6 to, start clearing them out. And you want to have your remaining rangers, your starting rangers and your starting soldier, just continuing to patrol, continuing to keep your colony safe. You can actually take one of the rangers that's guarding this area, and just plug up a little at any area. As you can see here, there's like a wandering infected that's trying to come through that I think my rangers don't notice just yet. So I can have my ranger just plop herself right there, and she can protect against any stray infected. Now, this is only the first week, so I don't know if I'll actually survive in this colony. I don't know if I'll actually survive this colony, but I will push this colony as far as I can to teach you guys how to expand, how to survive map 1. And I'll probably do the same thing for map 2, 3, and 4 as I get to them. So there are a lot of other people who have had a lot more success. I'm not saying I'm an expert, but I have learned enough from my many trials and errors about how to make a colony successful from the ground up starting. And if you have a solid foundation, you can succeed further on. And remember what I said about letting a random infected in. Don't let a random infected in. Keep your units patrolling. Keep them watching your blind spots. If an infected finds a blind spot, believe me, it will find a blind spot. You can quickly face this little crack. It's just a little crack. But from that crack will come a trickle, and the trickle will eventually become a flood. So all it takes is one infected to make your nice colony set up right here, and have it explode. So until next time, I hope I'll see you around. I'm more than just a Pokemon channel now. I guess I'm also a zombie survivalist specialist. So I am Imperator Tavius, your Fedora Rusher, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye!